welcome to episode 99 of Random Thoughts. We're going to talk today about optimum training and the biggest loser.
Yeah, this is a fun hypothetical that we used to play.
Yeah.
Because Biggest Loser has sort of faded out of popularity a little recently. With all the cooking shows, it seems to have gone the other way.
So many cooking shows.
But back in the day when Biggest Loser was the big deal, we would scoff at it quite a bit.
And look, I think it's faded out, but I think there have been some ongoing ripple effects from it that are counterproductive for most people's health and fitness. So I think that's where it's interesting to talk about. So the thing that would drive me crazy about The Biggest Loser is people would watch it and they would, and to sort of recap for those that maybe have forgotten or didn't watch it. So it's a show where you have these morbidly obese contestants get put into essentially fat camp.
And there'd be two teams, red and blue, or red, blue, black and white.
And you're competing each week for who can lose the most weight. And so people would do things like they would bulk up in order to be able to, like they'd put on fat deliberately to have more to lose in order to game the system a little bit.
Yeah, because it was a percentage-based thing. So the guys would always tend to win because they had a bigger percentage chunk to lose. Yeah.
But the thing that was most annoying to me about it was that it was built, the design of it was built to get ratings, not results.
Which is the big matrix that you need to see with it.
Yeah, because what you've got to see is that this sounds really obvious and patronising, but what any telly show is trying to do is trying to sell your eyeballs to advertisers.
Yeah. The more views, the more they can charge for their ad spaces, the more money
and so the more dramatic it is, the more views you're going to get. So the worst case scenario in good training, the worst case scenario in training humans in general, athletes, civilians, whatever it is, the worst case scenario is you train someone so hard they injure themselves dramatically and you have to call an ambulance.
Yeah, that is horrible training / strength and conditioning. Yeah, that trainer needs to have a good hard look at themselves.
It's bloody amazing for telly.
Oh, it's amazing television.
Like if you can,
the ambulance has to get called.
And so what you'd see, this 130 kilo guy who hasn't trained in 15 years doing 50-meter sprints at max intensity.
I remember one, there was like a 2-ton of bricks in a stack and they had to move them from one stack to another stack and then just go back and forth carrying bricks to exhaustion.
Which was good. But my favorite was always the high velocity. Let's make them do plyometrics because that's what huge
box jumps and burpees and whatnot. Yeah.
So it drove me crazy because people would pick up on it and then they got the impression that, and because the other thing that's really good for TV is an emotional breakdown of the person. So if I'm coaching someone and I can yell at them and push them to the limit and make them so tired and exhausted they start crying, and then I can give them "You've got to won it" speech.
How bad you won this?
And then
for your family, blah blah blah.
And then if we can hug it out as well,
that's great.
It's because it's drama. And then people would pick up, and I think it became, absorbed into collective consciousness that you had to train to the limit to get results. Every session, like a maniac, like you're a kamikaze pilot.
If it wasn't an 11 out of 10, it wasn't worth it.
Yeah. And so I remember talking to my friend JD at the time, and you and I talking about it as well, about how hilarious our version of The Biggest Loser would be, where the quest is not to get ratings, the quest is just to get the best possible results.
And also long-term health benefits. So, because the big thing with Biggest Loser is people would lose all that weight and look amazing on the finale. 6 months later, that
a lot of them
often the times they're back to where they started or along that journey again. Because it's not sustainable, that kind of training. It's
crazy. And you'll just break stuff. So I thought we'd talk today about that.
Yeah, so today's hypothetical exercise is if we had, because obviously you've got family, you've got financial things, it's hard to get to the gym with work and all that sort of stuff.
Can we do two? Can we do as though it was the exact biggest loser scenario?
It's like you're reading my mind. So what I wanted to do first was if we could control every variable. Yeah.
You've got them in camp.
We had them in camp. We got government funding to run this camp, for example, or super rich people and they were paying their way and they didn't have to work for 6 months. Yeah. What we would do over 6 or 12 months to set these people up and also get really good results. And then let's do the second version of what you can do around a normal life.
What was the time frame? Because it's 12 weeks?
Well, the show ran over 12 to 16 weeks, but I think they were in there for longer.
Really?
I don't remember for sure.
Let's work off the basis of our version. Let's do a 12-week, what we would do for 12 weeks to get optimum results for that. And then we'll talk about what you would do in a non-camp real life scenario over 12 months.
Yeah, how you can take those same principles and maybe just do a bit of them or use the best ones.
All right, cool. So strap yourself in and prepare for stuff to not be as hard as you think it should be.
The most consistent, even loser. Do you want to go weekly schedule or daily schedule?
Let's talk daily. Let's talk how you'd structure the day. So if you got unlimited time, you're not working a job, you can just, you're in that situation. Everyone's going to roll out of bed at, I think, 7 o'clock.
7:30.
Yeah. So you're guaranteed the sun's up. You're not feeling like it's too much privation and it's horrible. You're going to roll out of bed. You're going to scull 300 to 500 mil of water. And then you are going to...
Actually, sorry, let's go back a step. As soon as you wake up, you can get straight to bed. It's not going to be wake up at 6:45 and lie in bed for half an hour. You wake up, the alarm goes off, you're on your feet within seconds.
You're going.
It's a big thing people forget is get sluggish that way.
Going. Because the worst thing you can do, which so many people do, is you luxuriate. So you wake up, the alarm goes off, and it's warm, and there is no place cozier than the doona.
Oh, especially at 7 a.m.
It's so nice. And then there's that friction from your position under the doona to actually getting up and doing stuff. And so you can really rob yourself of some time and enthusiasm there. So the trick is alarm goes, doona off, and you're out.
Straight on your feet.
Don't allow even that 30 seconds to luxuriate of, oh, this is so nice. Because your chances of then wanting to go outside and exercise are lower.
It also creates sleep drag or sleep lag, where you get that grogginess and that sort of lethargy and that sort of effectively jet lag effect from sleep. I forgot what the exact term is, but I'll look that up for you.
So no good. So you roll straight out of bed.
Have your 300 to 500 mil of water.
Go to the loo, do that stuff. Get yourself, and you've laid out, so that everyone has laid out their gym clothes the night before. So they know what they're doing. And so it's just get up, typically in a different area, so that you kind of have to do a walk of shame if you don't do the stuff.
Yeah, because you've got to put it back.
You've got to put it back. And then it's off into your cardio. The reason we're doing cardio first thing in the morning is fasted cardio, empty stomach. First thing in the morning, you've got nothing to burn but your body fat. That's really important.
It's amazing how much body glycogen you burn overnight sleeping. So in the morning, you've got the awesome benefit of a naturally empty tank from having spent 10 hours not eating.
Because it's important to understand that your body, it doesn't want to burn fat. Fat is like superannuation. It wants to keep the fat. So the worst time to do cardio is just after you've eaten, because you'll typically burn the calories you've ingested rather than the fat stores. So you do that.
Important clarification. Sorry, I keep adding sidebars here, but important clarification. If your goal is performance, though, so if you're trying to run a marathon and win a gold medal, you should do your training fed.
Yeah,
trying to train to lose fat versus maximize fitness adaptation. They're different.
We're talking strictly about the goal is to lose fat. So, and you do your cardio, and I would say that would vary from one day would be high intensity cardio,
interval type
stuff, and the other day would be lower intensity. So you just day on day. So you're not smashing your adrenal system every day. And it's going to be, so let's say it's Monday morning, it's going to be a 45-minute walk.
Brisk around the block.
Yeah. Big block.
Around the block multiple times.
45-minute walk. Yep. And you can do that at basically the fastest rate you can do without it being running. Like you're within reason. Like you're not dawdling.
Should come back pretty puffed from that.
Yeah.
That was some work.
Yeah.
On the interval day, that's not going to be hard hill sprints and burpees and plyometrics, especially if you are on the obese or overweight scale of things, because that's going to be pretty hard on your joints, and that's going to make injury risk a lot higher and things like that. It's going to be probably spin bike work. Yeah. Spin bike, maybe boxing is a good alternative if you've got a trainer. Yeah. But spin bike is your best friend in this situation.
It's going to have intensity, but minus the ground reaction forces, which you're not ready for in that week one of the 12-week program, because you've got too much body weight in the equation.
And not enough strength, most likely, if you're detrained too. Yeah.
So they'll do that.
That takes us to what, like 9 a.m.-ish?
Yep. And then come back, try and defer breakfast a little bit, because every minute that you don't have breakfast is an extra minute that you're continuing to burn fat stores.
You know the best way to defer breakfast? Have a sauna.
Good idea.
Yeah, 20 minutes in the sauna.
Yes.
Go for your brisk walk, come back, 20 minutes in the sauna you've got in your shed.
Because we've got a sauna at the camp.
Yeah, it's unlimited funds. So I've got a sauna. You can watch your Netflix in there. You can watch the morning news, listen to a podcast.
And you're going to elevate your growth hormone. You're actually going to, and particularly important for overweight people, you're going to increase the flexibility of your arteries and help keep everything just really nicely moving from a heart health perspective.
Saunas do a phenomenal job of increasing stroke volume, increasing venous.
That's how much blood you're pumping with the heart
per stroke, and increases the elasticity of your arteries, which has a significant effect on reducing your risk of heart disease and stroke.
Pretty amazing.
Which are two of the main 4 killers for people over 40.
Yeah. So and you do that 20 minutes consecutive. You don't do the thing where just as it gets uncomfortable,
you duck
step out
for a cold shower.
So you people that do that drive me crazy. Yeah. Wasting your time. Get the benefit.
The research says minimum of 20 minutes at about 75 to 85 degrees. Yeah. In a dry heat sauna, that is too. Most of the research says so 20 to 25 minutes of that.
Yeah.
That's helped you defer your breakfast. You also burn some fat in there because heat training is a great way to burn body fat as well.
So much good stuff there. So you've done that, and then you'll cool down, have a bit of a roll and a stretch.
Yep.
And you'll roll and stretch a little bit before your exercise as well, probably. Yep. And now it's time to have some breakfast.
Yeah.
Have the breakfast.
What's your breakfast of choice?
Well, for me, the main thing is it's going to have quite a lot of protein in it and a slow release source of carbohydrate. So it could be scrambled eggs, porridge, and a chobani yogurt.
Yep.
It could be
healthy fats are really important here as well.
Yep.
We want higher fat, higher protein diet with a lower sugar diet is what we're chasing with our camp.
Yeah. So for my own thing, it'd be my shavaps and frittata and avocado and salad.
Yeah. And your frittata has sweet potato in it as well for a bit of carbs. So So and there's that. For me, it would be a spinach and mushroom and maybe sun-dried tomato omelette on maybe one slice of rye toast.
Making me really, really hungry. Cut that
out. Or there's you could just do yogurt with some mixed nuts and oats and some blueberries. It doesn't have to be fancy and cooked. It could be a protein smoothie. Plenty of options here.
And so then after that, you would maybe read a book.
This is where it gets really exciting. From 10:30 till lunch. Pretty much free time, isn't it?
It's free time.
Whatever you like. What you're not allowed to do is you're not allowed to eat again.
Yeah.
So no more eating.
No grazing. Yeah.
No big milky coffees. So caffeine limit. I'd be putting a caffeine limit on my participants.
Yeah.
3 a week type stuff.
Yeah.
Because the problem is you have it every day and it creates this chronic need for caffeine and you become dependent on it. If you have it every now and again, you actually get some of the fat burning and the alertness.
I wouldn't put a limit on them. I would just, because we've got big brother scenario. What I would do, sorry, from the mic. What I would do is I would after 11 o'clock, I would sub out the coffee powder and replace it with decaf and not tell anyone.
Ah, nice. Yeah, cool. That would make some drama. Yeah, because caffeine later in the day will messes up your adrenals and it makes you it significantly reduces the quality of your sleep.
And I reckon the placebo effect, people would still be like, I feel good because I've had a coffee.
I had a decaf on the other day and I just couldn't sleep. I had it 3 p.m. and I couldn't sleep afterwards because it's the taste effect for me, I think.
Yeah.
So in that time, 10 to 12, I'd be recommending at least a litre of water. So sipping away on some water, green tea, peppermint tea, things like that are great. Lower caffeine levels, but no grazing.
And then you have your lunch at around 1. And then after lunch...
What's lunch? People like details.
Yeah, I love details. Lunch is a nice steak with some veggies and a bit of carbs, like some potato, it's a proper meal. Yep. And it's probably more of a significant meal than dinner. Your dinner is more supper-like. Yeah,
meals sort of ramp up in lunch and then fade off. Yep. For us, they get lighter as the day goes on.
Also, I want them lifting at 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock, you've got the highest.
We'll get to that in a second. So let's keep going through the day. So lunch could be steak and baked potato. Could be fried rice and chicken skewers. tuna salad with some sweet potato on the side, some sort of like I do a nice like homemade baked beans. I'll link that recipe, which is awesome. Got plenty of fiber, got protein in the beans for vegetarian options. But something filling and like a proper meal, not a sandwich and a croissant or
like a proper meal.
Afternoon.
And then, so you got some free time.
So we've got 2 to 4 now before we lift.
Free time. Read a book.
Bit of pool,
whatever you like. Hang out.
Play some darts. Listen to music.
Go for a nice walk.
Maybe some yoga.
Sure. Yeah. And then from 4 till 5, you are hitting the weights, and you're hitting them pretty hard in the sense that supersetting stuff, so you're not getting to sit around. So you're going from one exercise to another. Just trying to stimulate a bit of hypertrophy, probably get the muscles, because there will have been a bit of atrophy often in a lot of those bodies. Get everything working nicely.
Atrophy in sense of overweight people tend to sort of almost in a sense replace their muscle mass with body fat as they get weaker.
It can become skinny fat.
Yeah.
And so you do that, and you divide it up because you want to lift every day.
Yeah, so 5 to 6 days a week would be great.
I think it would be,
especially because in this sense, our goal isn't maximum strength and performance. Our goal is to actually be inefficient and be uncomfortable and sweat and burn lots of energy.
So you might do a push superset.
Yeah, so you do like a bench press into pec fly.
Yeah,
squats into lunges, stuff like that.
And then the next day is pull, and then you're back to push because you just want to work the muscles, get them going. But I guess probably you want 4 lifts per week, so you're getting a couple of days of rest as well between
Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Pretty typical split.
Yeah. And then afterwards you are.
Let's break down the workout a little bit. Like 6 to 10 exercises, 4 or so sets per 8 to 12 reps. So the reps are high enough that we're getting the heart rate up per set. Rest between sets is like 20 seconds, enough time to move equipment effectively.
I wonder. So it's been interesting for me. Easter Monday, I broke my wrist and didn't really.
What are we at now? It's like really 2 months ago.
Yeah, it's more than. And the thing I've maintained good eating and I've maintained my running. But the lifting, I just didn't feel like I really couldn't do everything I tried to do. Just hurt, and I was like, I'll just wait. And so I've ended up waiting. So it's been the longest time I've ever not lifted that I can remember since I was 20. I cannot believe how rapidly my body composition has shifted to the negative. Like, I am proper skinny fat. And the variables are lifting. So I've taken out those 3 lifts. Which, if you looked at those lifts, you wouldn't have gone, those are incredible lifts. You're amazing. You've just gone, it's all right.
He's moving lifting, weights or whatever.
He's moving weights. But what I've done is I've changed my metabolism. It's not nearly as fast. So for those guys,
because strength training is a lot like compounding interest, where each workout itself burns a little energy, but the more workouts you do and you're stronger and the fitter and the more muscle mass you lay down, the more your body can burn fat while it's resting. While you're doing
really critical in the other 23 hours.
While you're doing your book reading and playing your pool and going for swims and walks, that's when your body, everything just lifts.
And so for that reason, I would be more inclined to give them enough rest. You don't want to make it into pure circuit training.
Yeah, okay. I hear what you're saying, yeah. Cool.
Yeah. So you give them a little bit of rest. So you want them to train at a reason, because what happens if you make it just no rest, then the intensity actually drops.
Yeah, and you actually can't keep progressing the weights. It's a good point.
Yeah. So you do that and have a good workout. After the workout, have dinner within about an hour. So have dinner at 6.
So work out 4 with your warm up till 5:30. Another shower.
Have dinner at 6.
Make your way down to the living room. Have your dinner
at 7 o'clock. Everyone brushes their teeth.
Yeah, and that's like Big Brother, like the decaf. Everyone's like an alarm goes off,
and we lock the fridge.
Yep.
We lock the pantry.
No, my house doesn't even have a fridge. The food,
okay, right.
Like if there's no food in pantry, we just bring the meals in.
I feel like you're missing the opportunity for drama.
No, because
I want people getting hangry and like trying to whack the fridge.
I want maximum games and minimum drama here. All right. Because we're going to talk about a real world version.
I was like,
second.
well, Kenneth, let's do it.
We'll talk about a real world version in a second, but now for bizarro world where you've got control of every variable. There's no fridge, there's no pantry.
So
food gets brought in by the chef at 7 a.m. at 10 a.m., at 1 p.m. and at 7 p.m.
And so what we have is a window of not eating where it's going from 7 p.m. all the way through to breakfast. So it's going to be 14 hours or so where the digestive system gets to rest, the liver gets to rest, and that is actually profound, because what we do as a species is we eat really, like, we basically are, if we're awake, we're eating.
Yeah. The day ends with a meal and starts with a meal, and we just keep going in between.
Yeah, and that's actually not natural to eat that much. So 12 and 12 is a good pattern for a lot of people.
I think it's worth talking about the elephant in the room here of intermittent fasting, which can go a little bit too far the other way. The idea of a 12-12 or a 13-11 type schedule.
I think 12-12 is great, because it's just 12-12 or 13-11 where you're actually having a big block of time. So you're 8 hours of sleeping plus a little bit of not eating. That's what my wife does, and she swears by it. So it's just, she just kind of tries to work on a 12 off thing. It's really good. And
it seems to be good for your body builds up junk protein when they have an error in the writing code. So DNA writes proteins, and that becomes muscle mass and tendon and whatnot. If you are constantly eating, constantly drip feeding, those junk proteins are kind of like the mistakes, the typos, if you will. They don't get a chance to be cleared out if you're constantly in an anabolic state. So having a 12-hour window gives your body a chance to go, okay, that's junk, and flushes it out of your system a little. So it keeps your code writing a little cleaner, if you will.
Yeah, so just the 12 hours, I think that's a good way to go. Yeah. And then, they free time again. In bed, what time are we getting? We get up at 7. So all the blue lights, all the lights in there.
So teeth get brushed at 7.
Yeah.
Free time till 9. And then the blue lights are shut off.
Free time till 9. And so you can watch telly, you can do whatever you like. And then from 9 through till 10:30, the light transitions into orange-based light.
Orange hues.
Yep.
Warm light.
So that way, because the blue light actually tricks your body's
melatonin system
into thinking it's daytime. So you want to get rid of that. And then they have a nice night's sleep and repeat.
Yeah.
And weight will fall off people. They will not get injured. It will be a beautiful thing. And
because the nice thing about that system is not only are you dropping weight real fast, because you'll be losing, if you've got those big people like the biggest losers, you'll be losing 2, 3, 4 kilos every week for that first month, easy, or first 2 or 3 months even. But what you're also doing by doing it nice and smoothly like that without injuring people is you're also fixing their systems. Yeah. So by increasing their muscle mass without hurting them, without scraping up their joints, you're increasing their metabolic efficiency, you're improving their muscle mass, improving their joint health, their posture. All these things will improve, which makes it easier for them to maintain it afterwards.
And I'm probably not having any of them start running until 12 weeks.
Yeah, at the absolute minimum. Yeah, like they've really got to be begging for it.
Get the strength up, get the weight off, and then worry about running late. Like running is like when you hit, at some point you hit a plateau, but there's a law of diminishing returns from everything you've been doing. So if you are naturally a 70 kilo person and you're at 90, well, the first 10 kilos pretty much fall off you when you stop having big M's and start behaving yourself.
Yeah, like stop your Fruit Loops for scrambled eggs.
So the first 10 really easy, and then it gets harder and harder. And if your ideal weight's 70, it starts to get hard when you're down at about 75
or even 80. If you come
80
from
gets
really
a bit
big.
harder. You've got to try sort of tighten the belt eating wise, I reckon. But the last 5, that's what you save your running for, because you keep that up your sleeve. It's like the ace in the hole.
Yeah, don't play all your cards too early.
Yeah, and so you save that for later when you're trying to get rid of the last few kilos, because then it's safe and appropriate.
Yeah.
And the amount of people over the years that have said to me, "Oh, I'm going to start running. I'm going to do this," and I'm like, "Really? Don't you just want to start?" Oh no! And they go for like 3 5K runs, get an injury, and then
back to square one.
Back to where they were.
Behind square one, because now they've got an injury to deal with as well.
Yeah. Crazy.
Because you got to remember what the goal is here. The goal isn't to be a runner. The goal is to lose body fat.
Oh, but even if the goal is to be a runner, like you still shouldn't start running until you're ready to run without the running damaging you.
It's so true.
Yeah. So that's the biggest loser one. Let's do a bit of a quick how we do this in the real world.
Yeah, we're going to run out of video soon if you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook. We will continue the audio going.
We'll continue talking.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
We got this.
So let's go to the real world now.
Yeah, so real world. So number one thing is you're going to train every day. Forget all that. I'm going to swear.
Do it, swear.
Forget all that bullshit about how you should have days off. No, you're going to train every day and make it a habit, like brushing your teeth, like putting your clothes on. It's just a thing that you do.
Every morning out of bed, you train.
It's not a discretionary choice. It's not a should I, shouldn't I. It's just you train. You don't necessarily train that hard all the time.
Yeah, like those workouts, they may vary from 4 out of 10 to 8 out of 10.
Yeah, and you might occasionally miss one. That is also fine. But the point is,
they should be the exceptions, not the norm. Should miss one a month, not one a week.
Because the maths, so you get people who train 3 times a week. They'll commit to, because that seems reasonable.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Yeah. And then they'll actually end up averaging 2.2, or let's just call it 2 for the sake of maths. 2 sessions. So over the course of a year, we're talking about
52 missed workouts.
What's the total amount of workouts they got?
2 times 50, 104.
104. So you got 104 out of 365. If you're aiming for 7 and you're falling short and you're getting
5
6
or 6,
5,
yeah.
What's the maths on that, maths guy?
6, 5, 300 workouts out of 360 days ish.
104 versus 300. That's a really big difference. I'm going to be a lot better if I've got 300 workouts under my belt. Yeah.
And the big beauty of this is because this is the thing that frustrates me the most with Biggest Loser is they make you think like every workout has to be hell.
Yeah.
You have to go to war and you just have to walk out of there bloody, sweaty, and hating life. You train more consistently, but you train not pathetically, but you train mediocrely.
I don't like mediocrely because
one, it's not a word.
One, it's clumsy language.
Clumsy is very polite.
No, I just think it's just It's just not exciting. It's just consistent. It's just money in the bank. Like I don't think
just show up.
Just do it. You know, but not in a just do it. Just merely do it. Just do it. You know,
merely. That's the word. That's what I was looking for. Merely do the session.
Just do the work. Put the work in. So, how it would work for a normal person with constraints, with potentially a family, with career, with all those things, is you're going to exercise at the same time every day. In an ideal scenario, you're going to do it first thing in the morning. You're going to roll out of bed, drink your water, and you're going to go do some cardio on one day. And then the next day, you're going to lift. And then the next day, you're going to do cardio. So it's cardio, lift, cardio, lift, cardio, lift. And you just do that. You've pre-done some of your food. Don't be one of those crazy meal preppers who spends all of their Sunday doing their food.
Because then you lose Sunday, which is the best day of the week.
Yeah, I'm trying to throw shade on those people, but I feel like life's pretty short. Like enjoy yourself a bit, but do some. I think the sweet spot is some prep.
Cooking in batches is how I used to do the Sunday meal prep thing and lost my Sundays and got sad about losing my Sundays, so I stopped it. But now I'll cook a big meal early in the week, whether it's Sunday night or Sunday lunch or Monday night, and that'll get me at least 3 or 4 serves. Yeah. So I'll do a big fried rice and something, and then I'll do enough for 3 or 4 days with lunches. Yeah. That way I'm sorted.
I have just bought a new pan, a really nice Baccarat griddle pan.
Yeah, the fancy one.
Stone one. Yeah, it's amazing. And so it's because I got one that was exactly the right size for 2 entire packets of Shavaps to be done simultaneously.
Shavat man.
So I can do that. I can flip them with a spatula.
Yeah, no,
it's phenomenal. So I will batch cook a whole bunch of them and then vacuum pack half of them, so they're for later in the week. And I will cook some steaks and I'll vacuum pack some of them, put them in the freezer, and do the same with some chicken. And so I don't do it all at once. So one week I'll cook a few steaks and pack them. One week I'll do a few chicken fillets. And then I do my frittata, which is where I do a 20-egg monumental frittata that I cook up once a week, which makes 8 serves. Pack that. So I'm spending probably 2 hours on my batch cooking.
A week?
I reckon. Yeah, it's not long because they're all easy things. But I've just got those staples there for me. And it's just easy. So I think you do a bit of batch cooking, and you've got that side of it sorted, and get plenty of sleep, and that's it. That's it. So
stop drinking soft drink water instead. Dial back the coffee. Sleep more. Exercise every day. Batch cook occasionally.
Batch cook occasionally, and stop eating as early as you get that dinner in. Be always aiming to try and get your dinner eaten by around 7 or 8 o'clock.
Depending on your schedule.
Yep. and then shut the doors. And the best way to metaphorically lock the doors of the kitchen, because we don't have my locks or Jacob's no food.
My no food kitchen. Yeah.
The best way is to go brush your teeth, because the effort of brushing your teeth, if you then go to have a snack later, you're like, but I've brushed my teeth. Like, you actually may as well put a padlock on the fridge, because it's a real renunciation of what you decided.
It's like declaring to the world, I am done eating today. That is it.
And if you backtrack on that, you got to brush them again, and like, brushing your teeth is not that big a hassle, but it's amazing the psychological resistance it'll create.
Also, food doesn't taste as good immediately after you brush your teeth.
Exactly.
So you lose that effect of the sweets.
Yeah. Okay, so in the real world, it is exercise first thing in the morning, having had a good night's sleep, appropriate to you, drink plenty of water, no sugary drinks,
Dial back the coffee.
prep your food a little bit in terms of batching. Be relaxed about it. I think that's, you can do everything else perfectly, but if you're like,
must lose the weight,
and you're so focused on why am I losing the weight, just focus on the process, and that idea of your practice, like practice as practice. Like, you're just practicing being in shape by doing that. So each training session, you're practicing doing that thing.
The habit of being a fit, healthy person will make you eventually a fit, healthy person.
If you focus on the fact that it's just about just doing that, not worrying about how quickly.
Because you've got your rest of your life to be fit and healthy.
Yeah.
It takes an extra couple of months.
And so my experience back in the day when I was, it seems like 1,000 years ago, when I was doing personal training and doing some corporate training with organizations, the best customers, the people that got the best results, were always accountants or engineers, because they were incredibly focused. They were accepting that to do things, there's a level of repetition and boredom. They were process focused, and they were pretty left brain, like
analytical and numbersy.
I would say, well, you need to achieve this to do that, and they understood numbers in like inputs and outputs. So they were far and away the very best, and the very worst were artistic types, graphic designers.
Really?
Oh yeah,
there you go.
Terrible, because they were so much about their feelings, and they didn't want to be constrained by a structure.
And they love variety and
difference
and excitement.
And so they didn't do nearly as well as the accountants. So that mentality of, all right, it's just job to do, just follow this, and then don't worry about it. Just get on with the rest of your life. And so the timing on this is good. It's winter. Like, now, if you don't start in November, you're ridiculous, you November people.
Yeah.
Like, start now and just make a nice ramp through from winter into autumn, and then you can hit the ground running when it's day one of spring. You've got like 20 weeks under your belt. Then you're good to really turbo it in spring rather than start it in spring.
Yeah.
Bit preachy today.
No, that was good. I've been waiting for that episode for weeks.
Okay.
So excited we did that one.
All right, cool.
Yeah, great.
Show notes. There's, I think, the nutrition stuff
we've made a couple of recipes and a couple of different ideas on protein and things like that.
And if you could link back to the old podcast we did about nutrition.
Yeah, the nutrition fundamentals 1 and 2.
1 and 2.
Yep.
Because having said all the important stuff about the training, abs are made in the kitchen, not the gym.
Yeah.
So you can undermine everything you do if the eating's not on point. So get the eating right.
And I'll link to Mum's episode as well.
Yeah.
When my mum talked about her skim milk.
And could you link also to our sports-specific fitness, you're probably doing it wrong article.
Yeah.
Not for the sports specificity part of it, but because it has a video of how to do 8 and 12s.
Yeah. And you can get our app from there as well.
You can get the app there. And 8 and 12s, I think it's something like 8 and 12s I found in the study, they burnt like 300% more fat than people doing steady state. And
they increased their VO2 more as well in less time. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
In like a half the time or a quarter.
Yeah, so you have a link to that. That has a link to our free app. And in the app, you just press the 8 and 12s button.
Select your rounds and away you go.
And you're off. Just do it, ease into it.
Start with like 15, 20. Yeah.
Yeah, and don't go too hard at it. We have had a number of super keen people spew because they can start writing checks they can't cash in the first few rounds.
This is easy. And then they die.
Yeah, so just keep it easy.
Yeah. And like we discussed before, spewing is not the goal of your training.
Nope. It might happen every now and then, but it should not be the goal by any stretch.
Beautiful. Thanks,
Cool.
everyone.
Right,
We'll see you back for episode 100 in 2 weeks' time.
Okay, cool.